Ms. Larson, thank you for appearing before this committee, and thank you for the hard work that you and your staff have done to generate the data that this committee has asked for, despite the short notice. And with that, I would like to put you on oath. So would you kindly raise your right hand, please, and turn on the mic. Do you swear or affirm, under penalty of law, that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can turn off the mic. Oh. Now would you kindly please state your name, your title, and the agency you represent?
Mr. Chairman, before we proceed, I want to first introduce myself. I think everyone here knows who I am. I'm Gil Burnbrick, Chief of the Civil Division. I'm here today in a representational capacity as Secretary Larson's attorney just for today. Before I proceed, I would like to put in an objection. I think you know what objection this would be. It's a standardized one. That this committee is not authorized to issue subpoenas and has not been authorized pursuant to 1 CMC section 1301 subsection B. That is all, Mr. Chairman.
Privilege.
State your privilege.
Actually, it's more of a question. Can a witness also testify as a legal counsel for another witness? Or, he has the possibility of getting called back in on different matters?
Chair. Counsel, would you like to answer that?
Yes, he can. There's nothing that prevents a person from being an attorney in one case and a witness in another case.
Chair. Thank you.
Okay, Representative De La Cruz.
Thank you, Chair. And in line with the legal counsel's opinion there, because of the differences of the articles involved with regards to Mr. Burnbrick being a witness, his involvement with the other article is no relations to this particular article.
Thank you. I asked the witness to state her name, her title. I think she should have come first. Counsel. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Larissa Larson. I'm Secretary for Department of Finance.
Thank you, Ms. Larson. Counsel, the committee takes note of the objection you raised. But having said that, again, let me just also inform the witness that the witness may provide testimony even without a subpoena. 1 CMC 1308 states cooperation of government officers and employees. The officers and employees of the Commonwealth shall cooperate with any investigating committee and with its representatives to furnish to it or to its representatives such information as may be called for in connection with the research activities of the committee. So we will respect the rights of the witness, and we're happy that the witness does have legal representation. But your concerns are noted. Thank you. We can proceed now. Are the members ready to ask questions? If they're still looking at the information, Ms. Larson, Um, the chair will admit that the questions that we posed, primarily the first question, which asked for, I believe, all related financial documents relating to the employer contribution, may have been too broad. I think based on your response to the chair, your office needs to be given more time to compile those information. I think the committee could have clarified that what we the information we need are the end of year cumulative figures related to employer contribution as budgeted, and only for those agencies that are budgeted, non-inclusive of autonomous agencies. Would it be possible, I know you have provided us with a very thick binder of material that includes ledgers of the individual remitted amounts. So I guess my first question is, do you have in your possession or readily available a summary, if you will, of the figures, end of year figures that were remitted to the retirement fund?
I would say the answer to that question is a yes and a no. And as we discussed earlier prior to starting this session, we could provide reports based on what the system shows, but there is a need to clarify the numbers and kind of explain them and break it down for committee members. There's factors that wouldn't be shown in the reports I provide to you that would indicate what percentage we were paying at, what laws were in place at the time. A lot of the controversy that we deal with when dealing with retirement fund has to do with difference in budget amount versus actuarial amount. So it would be nice to have some time to kind of clarify and show where those discrepancies are, and also show what we paid and what we didn't pay, and just kind of break it down for you and not just provide what we did. To start off, because we weren't sure how much information you needed, we just gave you printouts to prove that we were paying. So in those printouts, you'll see the record of the transaction, you'll see check numbers, dates we paid, and amounts, and so on, because it is important to realize we have been paying the retirement fund. There are disagreements, and that's why we ended up in court, because of the way we see it and the way the retirement fund sees it. But it is possible to provide it to you, we just would need more time.
Thank you for that clarification. Members? Representative De La Cruz.
Chairman, thank you. Ms. Larson, good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning. And excuse my ignorance, but I would like to get some idea as to how are the employer contributions remitted to the retirement fund. Is it a check being printed out and sent to the retirement fund? Is it a transfer from the CNMI government account to the CNMI retirement fund? How does that?
Okay, what normally happens every payday is from the payroll list that we generate, and we pay everyone for payroll, we'll generate a separate listing of employees who we deduct retirement benefits from. That in turn is provided both electronically and in paper form for the retirement fund, and a check is attached. It gets a little complicated with the supplemental payrolls that we run because it's normally separated out by federal, local, and so on, but it's normally given by check. We also do give monthly payments to the retirement fund for the earmarked hotel occupancy and container taxes. That's normally transferred by wire. So depending on the type of payment we're making, some are wires, some are checks.
Okay, now specific to the employer contribution, and I'm assuming that this ledger that you've submitted to the committee, these would be the dates and the amounts submitted to the CNMI Retirement Fund?
Yes, you should see it pretty much based on the payroll date. What we'll normally do is run payroll on a Thursday or Friday, and then the following Monday or Tuesday is when we generate this list and pay all our benefits and allotments, and retirement fund is one of them.
Okay, and does the CNMI Finance have the capability of printing out on a monthly basis or on a bi-weekly, I guess, the numbers that are remitted to the retirement fund? I know that this ledger report that you submitted, I believe, is for a bi-weekly remittance to the, and I'm looking over it, but I don't see a somewhat of a FY total amount, if you will. I guess what I'm trying to ask is it possible for CNMI Finance to submit to the committee a report detailing or showing the actual figures for the said FY?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then I guess we would be asking for the FY 2006 to FY 2012, or presently for 2012. Would that?
Yes, but I'd like to expand on that report a little more and not just give you totals, but show the percentage that we were using to apply against what we were remitting. So that's what I would need more time with.
Would that be the 36% or the 60 as required by law?
We've typically been sticking with the 30%. For federal agencies, it's been about 37%. The 60% is just impossible. We'd never be able to keep up with that. And I believe that Judge Govendo actually had an order that kept it at 37 or 30%. But we could provide that report, and we could break it down by federal, local. We don't handle autonomous agencies, so it's anyone whose payroll runs through our department. That's the group that we would pay retirement for.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you.
Further questions or clarifications from the members? Ms. Larson? I think that this committee would be greatly assisted if you were able to be given some time to get the figures and the clarifications as you stated. Can I ask you how much time, reasonable time, can be given? Do you think you can do it by next week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday?
I think that would be reasonable. If I can get it to you earlier, I will. But I think that's a good time frame for us.
Okay, we'd really appreciate it if you can get it to us before that time. But LAs, what does our schedule look like next week?
Wednesday's pretty open. Deputy Commissioner Gomez for Wednesday afternoon at 1. And tentatively, Mr. Fong of CUC in the morning. That's a tentative schedule. We're waiting legal counsel from CUC's response, his availability.
So until such time that we get a response from CUC, we really don't know. So the morning still looks open.
As for now, yes.
Ms. Larson, would Wednesday morning be okay with you?
That would actually be better for me.
Thank you. Thank you. So let us go ahead and reschedule a continuance of this hearing for Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. And we will...
Mr. Chairman, just information.
Please state.
At 9 a.m. we're supposed to have a teleconference with Mr.
Yes, pending CUC legal counsel's response. It's internet connection, I guess, could be at NMC Rhoda. So his availability, maybe.
Yes, Representative Tep, the reason I saw that in our schedule, but because we haven't received a response back yet from the legal counsel for Mr. Wallen Young Fong. Let's go ahead and plug the 9 o'clock in, and we can adjust it accordingly with CUC.
Yes, we put that in on Wednesday because that was the beginning of our open day. But we on the email we sent to legal counsel, there's an opening between Wednesday and Friday of next week. So waiting our response, we plugged it in on Wednesday for now.
Is that okay with the members for Wednesday at 9 a.m.? Okay. Any further comments or questions before I dismiss our witness? If not, thank you, Ms. Larson, for appearing before us. Oh, okay. We do have one. Rep. Guerrero.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm sorry. Good morning, Ms. Larson. How are you? Let's see. I would just like to ask you: is the governor in violation of his constitutional oath to faithfully discharge his duty as, I guess, as required under Article 15th of the impeachment?
I don't think I don't think I can answer that kind of question. I don't have any legal background or any right to make comment.
Okay. Basically a two-part question. Part 2 is what about his constitutional duty to take care of the laws faithfully executed? It has willingly neglected the duties of his office as alleged under the Article 15th of the impeachment.
Again, I don't think I can answer that question.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Any further questions, Rep? Any other members? Thank you again, Larissa. Ms. Larson.